health and cycle sync coach. And as you'll start to learn, cycle syncing ain't what most people think it is. A lot of people think it's when a lot of people with uteruses are together and our cycles just sync up. Is that a common?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna bust that myth today. But a little bit about me. I am a certified sexual health professional.
Yeah.
I am a personal trainer, nutrition coach. All these happen. Some of this stuff happened just this year because, you know, I like to learn. I've been in this business though for about 5 years, and this is a COVID baby. And I wanted to learn more about me. I think COVID gave you the, I like to say the intention to learn more about yourself or to drown in your shadow. And I chose to learn more about myself. And as I started learning about myself, I started drowning in the shadow a little bit. And then it kind of clicked for me. I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. Drinking all these wine bottles is not fun. This locking is not doing what it needs to do for me. So what can I do to be different? So started taking these classes. And as I started taking these classes, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. People get paid to do this. And with me, if I can learn, I can teach, and I can make some money. I said, hey. So started learning a little bit more, started diving more into the research. I was part of Pure Romance at one point. Y'all heard of Pure Romance before? Yep, and
passion parties.
Yep. And they had a certification program through Indiana University, and I took that bad boy. That was $500 because it was free for me. Oh, right. So I did. Well, look, might as well. And now I'm here, and I started to learn that your womb space is really the key to connecting to every single thing in your life. Every single. I'm showing y'all. I'm just giving you 2 examples today, but I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit more how y'all can apply cycle syncing to everything. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Twisted Intimacy is my brand. It's my baby. Like I told y'all before, this is my COVID baby. And with this brand, I really like to help millennial women because I don't know what it is about this generation for us, but we got the short end of the stick with a lot of things, but we now have the information and the resources to really make a difference. So that's why I'm in this space. But for folks that are outside of that range, don't worry, it's okay. Your womb space affects you from the moment that you're born to the moment that you're not here anymore. And I say that because there are stages that our bodies go through. So we all know that we have periods, right? Y'all know what period is? I'm gonna explain that. All right. Y'all know what a cycle is, though? What's a cycle?
The menstrual cycle, not the period.
Okay. Oh, that's okay.
No, definitely.
Oh, okay. Somebody really trying to get in today. Somebody, who looked at the slides? But that is correct. So when the doctor asks you when was your last period, this is a different conversation for a different day. But what they're really asking you for is they're trying to figure out your cycle, not your period per se. So they never ask you how long your period is. That's actually the real question that they should be asking. But again, another conversation for another day because women's health in this country, for whatever reason, is not good. They don't. It's more treatment based, not preventative. I wish it was preventative because it would really help us understand what's going on with our bodies to the moment we get our period. Again, another conversation for another day. Don't make me go on a tangent because, oh my God. But let's kind of dive into it. So y'all know what a period and a cycle is. That's cool. So with cycle syncing though, cycle syncing is when you match your routines, any of your routines and tasks, to the phases of your cycle. Does anybody know the phases of your cycle? Don't look at the presentation. Anybody know that? Oh, go ahead.
Ovulation, follicular, ovulation, luteal, menstruation.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Thank you for that. A lot of people don't know that though. We're only taught about menstruation, and that's all people want to care about. And I'm here to tell y'all gotta care about all these phases, because when people are like, oh, people with uteruses, why are y'all so crazy during different times of the month? They say it's crazy, but it's not. It's the ebbs and flows of our hormones. We don't have, we don't have just a circadian rhythm. We have, we're blessed with two, circadian and infradian rhythms.
And what that rhythm was of?
Infradian.
Infradian?
Mm-hmm. So your infradian rhythm, yeah, that's not in the slides. I told y'all to put some stuff behind the slides today. The infradian rhythm is that cyclical cycle. So everybody's different. 26 to 32 days, that is your infradian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is 24 hours, so it's per day. That's why with this whole 9 to 5 cycle, that's why it worked for some people and it don't work for others. It might work for you one week, and then the next week, you're like, something's off. I can't do it this week. I don't want people today. I want to just be in my room. But what we have to learn is how to make it work for us, or get into careers where we can make our own schedules. And if you are the management and you're part of setting everybody's schedules, you can change and make that difference. But again, that's a different conversation for a different day. I teach that a totally different class. But when it comes to our phases, so let's go through them. We already know about menstruation, that's our period. Typically it's between 26 to 32 days. If it's any less or any more, we got some problem. And a lot of people don't tell you that, and that's the part that makes me a little bit mad. As somebody that had a 13-day period and did not, yes, I did not, it was my, look, don't judge me, okay? I did not know, because that was my normal. And when it's your normal, and the doctor asks you, is anything abnormal, you say, what? No, because it's your normal. But that's not normal, and they don't ask that in your annuals and things like that. So I did not know. And they were heavy, and I was cramping, and I was doing all of these things, and I did not understand why this was happening to me. And I also had this like lower belly bloating like right here that never went away. It wasn't like it was like hard or anything like that. I used to play basketball. If y'all can't tell, I'm 5'2" and stuff like that. Okay. Used to play basketball, I ran track, I was in the marching band, and all these things. I was very active, and for whatever reason, that lower belly bloating, it just didn't go. It made me so mad. But now I think I know what it was. I can't prove it because they don't give you transvaginal ultrasounds when you don't need one, and when you should. But again, different conversation for a different day about preventative ways to take care of yourself. So with menstruation, you really want to make sure that you're in a space where you're resting or doing things lightly. That's why we're not moving around today, because I'm not about to pass out. I really believe that when you are honoring your body and honoring your cycles, it does help you. And that's why I'm able to present right now and be happy. I'm not a morning person, but I'm up here because I gave my body what it needed. I went to bed early last night. I was a little bang and stuff like that, but I was like, let me go to bed. I gotta be up in the morning, gotta present. But if I was in ovulation, for instance, I'll be outside, and I'll still be up right now. Like I'll be good. I'll be good. But right now, I said, let me chill, go to bed early, prepare my body so I can be up in the morning. And that's what you want to do when you're in menstruation. You want to focus on resting. Still move around when you can, though. So something I like to do every morning, even if I feel like a little icky. Y'all can do this with me if you can and if you want to. But what I do is I just do basic hip circles. Very, very basic. So I pretend I'm Superwoman, because y'all know about the Superwoman pose, right? So this pose is there's some science behind it. It helps you feel more confident and feel more empowered. So all I do is I spread my legs as far as I can. And I start with little hip circles. Ooh, y'all heard those. See? I start with hip circles. Just little ones at first. Then I make sure to go the other way, because you want to make sure down, like so. And then go the other way. It feels weird. It feels like, why does this work? Because in our hips, we have a lot of trauma. Your womb space, for whatever reason, likes to absorb all the energy, whether it's good or bad. So you want to make sure that you're releasing your hips in any type of way. If you are, let's say that, like, I don't know, you can't get out of bed one day, you just want to just chill and relax. Y'all don't have to get up for this one. So all you got to do, if you can, is put your hands on your knees like this and just do some cat cows. And you might, bless you. You might feel some release. If you can do your hip circles in the chair, you can do them in the chair. This also translates to something else, but you know. But remember to do both sides, because again, we want to make sure that both sides of our bodies are getting the proper movement. Because your body will remember if it's not doing both sides.
Cycles. If you stop having your period, either because of menopause or birth control, do you still have a cycle?
That is a good question. Oh, that is an awesome question. Thank you for asking. So, when you experience menopause, yes, technically you don't experience your cycles anymore as far as when you bleed. However, if you still have this, because I know with some people, bless you, if some people still have their ovaries, there's still some chemicals that send messages to your brain that once was there, that wasn't there before. So it's not that you don't go through the phases, but you still can cycle sync if you want to. Now, if you're on birth control, you can cycle sync. Don't get me wrong. However, you're not getting the optimal energy that cycle syncing can do for you, because you don't actually bleed. It's not like a real bleed. It's a fake bleed, synthetic bleed. And you're not ovulating. So ovulation is the key to all of this. If you don't know when you ovulate, I'm not saying you can't cycle sync. You can follow the moon cycles and the moon cycles for this. But if you don't ovulate, you're not really experiencing the fullness of what you can do. You can still cycle sync, but it's not you're gonna look at me like, this ain't working. I don't feel like, what's she talking about? It's so loudness. But yeah, that's, so you can cycle sync, but it's not, I'm not gonna say it's not real, but it's just not optimized, if that makes sense.
I don't know if there's any like scientific truth to this, but I feel like I notice in other people that have had this experience of going off birth control changes who you're attracted to. I don't know if there's
Yes,
anything
it happened to me.
about that.
I swear it happened to me. It happened to me. My ex.
It's what lies in your ex, maybe? No.
That part. But so I'm attracted by smell. And let's just say when I got off birth control, he stank. Like his natural, like he could bathe, but his natural scent stank me. And that's your body's way of letting you know that that's not the right person for you. But also my therapist says that every time I bring up that somebody smells funny, she always laughs at me. So I don't know. But for me, but yeah, that is something that is very common. Because just think about again, you're not really experiencing ovulation. You know what? Let's okay. I'm gonna come back to this when I get to ovulation. Just if I don't mention it again, just be like, mention the thing you're gonna say. Because ovulation, I'm telling you, is you want to do the ovulation. So let's see, where was I? Okay, yep. Well, we already went through menstruation. Like I said, you want to rest. You want to do light walks. You want to do gentle yoga. Don't be like me and get tricked into doing power yoga outside. When I say we left 30 minutes in, we left like gone. I said, oh no, my body's not happy right now. Woo. But so don't do that. Do gentle yoga, do stretching. I also teach something called liquid motion, 1.0 and liquid pole. So like I like to do gentle things like that. Plus it's pelvic based, so it helps move the uterus. So that's really what you want And as far as pleasure, so, who likes to have sex in their period? Okay, great. You're giving your uterus an internal massage when you do that. And a lot of people think that it's icky and things like that. I don't think so. It's quite enjoyable. But try to use lube because the menstrual blood that comes out, it will dry you out. And we already know the importance of lube, right? It makes it so that your uterine wall don't look like somebody really beat it up. Because we don't want that. If it starts to swell, if it starts to hurt, that person beats you up for real on the inside. We don't want that. It stings. Don't do that. So we want to use lube. We want to make sure that even if like you feel like you're the wettest of the wettest, like you friction and blood, try having a cut and rubbing your hands together. It's gonna dry you out, right? So think that doing it on the inside. So use lube. That's not the first or last time I will mention lube today. And make sure you're indulging in self-care. So when you're on your period, like I say, you want to focus more on you. You want to focus more on resting. But if you want your partner to praise you, that is the perfect time. Because who wants to be doing things while they're on that? So in your follicular phase. So this starts the first day after your period ends, right? So this can last between 5 to 7 days. This is the period when people talk about the fertile window. This lets you know that something's coming because your hormones are going to rise, your libido is going to rise, and you can get back to your normal activities. And when you start getting back to your normal activities, I'm not talking about going to the gym and then running a 5K. Don't do that. That's ovulation. That's the next phase. What you want to do is gently go back into your normal routine. So I like to do HIIT workouts. I like to do more fun cardio. That's the perfect time. Go for jogs. Go for if you want to hike a little bit. Don't do the full thing, but do something gentle on yourself. We want to make sure that again we are not overly doing it for our bodies because once you get back into menstruation, your body's gonna feel it. Because I forgot to mention, when you bleed, that is your monthly report card. So you'll know if you failed if you start experiencing your PMS symptoms. Because if you experience those are not normal, by the way. I hate that we normalize that and we say, oh, take Midol, take this, take that. It's not normal to have them anyway. So if you experience PMS, that's not normal. It's your body's way of telling you that there's some imbalances going on in your body. So if you're experiencing PMS, I talk more about that in a different session, but just know that there are ways to fix this. Because that 13-day period I told y'all about, this is not day 13 for me, I promise. But when you're in your follicular phase, so back to that. Do your HIIT workouts. You can go back into weight training, but like I said, don't overdo it. You can go do your twerk class, do your pole class, and like I said, running or hiking. When it comes to pleasure though, you're gonna start noticing cervical mucus. That is a good thing. When people talk about like discharge and things like that, it's not always bad. Mostly it's not bad. There are signs that when it is bad, but you're supposed to see something down there. But during this phase, it might start off a little bit dry because you just got off of menstruation. So you'll start to see the presence of cervical mucus. It's going to be kind of sticky a little bit. And as you get closer to ovulation, it's going to start getting wet. And we'll talk about that in a second. But when you're in this space, try new things. Just in general. Try a new restaurant, try a new activity, try a new position, just try something new. You can do this solo with your partner, but you can also do tantric massages. You can do role playing. Just try something new. Be creative. This is your opportunity to be creative in what you do. All right, so we've been talking about ovulation, and it keeps being brought up. So ovulation, think of this as the power phase. You can do whatever you need to. And everybody gonna be extra nice to you during ovulation. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Look. Tell me I'm lying. There's a certain time in the month where everybody wants to talk to you, even strangers. People give you things out of nowhere. When you negotiating with people, when you present, everybody's extra like, yeah, you got it, or you got that deal. And you ovulate, I promise you, it's because your body is saying, I need a baby. I feel safe to bring life into this world. Where is that? And I'm saying that in general, because this is just a natural way of our bodies. Doesn't mean you need to have sperm. Doesn't. But your body is saying, I want to bring life into this world. How can we do that? Let's make it happen. That's why your libido's gonna go crazy. A friend of mine, and I quote, Monica, I did this thing and now I'm feral. What did you have me take? I said, feral. She used the word feral. And I said,
So what was it that you had?
Yeah. Remember I was talking about like PMS symptoms, how those are not normal and stuff. So one thing I do suggest is called seed cycling. And she started doing that and her hormones started balancing. So her body was seed cycling. SEED cycling. I have an e-guide on that if y'all want to learn more about that. That's in the presentation. So, but yes, when you, like I said, when you start balancing your hormones, your body's want to feel safe because when you're out of balance, that's why you experience cramping and the heavy bleeding and like all of these things. So, when your body feels safe, it's going to want to pounce on something. And you got like about 3 to 4 days of this energy. So, how can we use this in cycle syncing? As far as fitness is concerned, go to the gym. That 100-pound weight that you've been eyeing, you might be able to lift it and do 3 rounds of it. Like, hey, there's a lot of interesting things you can do when you ovulate. Or, like I said, if you're, this is perfect for date night or want to go out and find somebody, I don't know what it is, but you are going to have those people come up to you randomly, want to give you stuff, want to be extra nice to you when they may not be nice to you all the time. Like I said,
Your hypothetical side is off.
well, look, that's what it is. That's what it is. Go ahead.
Intrigued. It depends what you mean by feral, but I noticed that actually I'm like the most horny a few days before menstruation. Is that out of whack? I mean, like dangerously horny.
No, oh no.
Consistently.
Oh no.
So it's not like during ovulation. It's later for me, but.
So that can happen because your uterus, when it's about to bleed, it'll increase in size and it'll hit some nerve endings that are around your G-spot. Look, I told y'all I was gonna say something that's not in the presentation. But yeah, that's why that happens. Because that happens to me sometimes too, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on?
I'm the opposite. I want to like kill everyone.
But it's interesting, it's almost like how I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm it's coming soon because now I just like lampposts, trees, everything.
That's your feral right there.
That post in the trees is like
But that's why that happens because your uterine lining, your uterus starts to increase in size, and it pretty much it hits on those nerves, and yeah, just think of it like just rubbing together on your clit, because your clit is not just the external; it's also internal. But yeah, like I said, ovulation it will get you there. So during this time, what you want to do is you do want to do those hip workouts, and then maybe add an extra set in there. Or if you want to lift those heavy weights, lift those heavy weights. If you want to do all the pole tricks and the twerk tricks in the world, that's the perfect time. I'm telling y'all, it's the perfect time to do all those things. And look, I still have not hit that yet. I think I can now because I got the upper body strength now, but there's some moves I was like, I want to do those. And then again, running or hiking, you can do the more intense things. So just equate ovulation to more intensity, right? As far as pleasure, you're going to produce 20 times as much cervical mucus during this period. That's why they say this is like the wettest time of the month. Everybody is different. My wetness is not your wetness. Your wetness is not my wetness. If you feel like you need a little bit more, again, lube is your friend. Please use lube. But your body's gonna say, I want something in me now. So again, that pharaoh phase, it wants to produce that cervical mucus, that natural lubricant. So that's what's gonna happen. Your body also, like I said, the pheromones are gonna just be everywhere for you. You cannot bathe and still get whoever you want that day or those couple of days. But it's the perfect time to go out, go be off with your friends, go be off with your partner or partners. Be social, be outside, because your body is saying, I want to be outside today. And you want to also use that energy to focus on receiving. So let's say that you're at work and you want a raise. That might be, don't do this, and if you don't get the raise, you blame me. Don't do that. But if you're in that negotiation phase and you want a raise, that might be a good time to ask for a raise. Because again, everybody will be nice to you for whatever reason. And last but not least is your luteal phase. So when you're in your luteal phase, I like to break this down into two halves. You got the first half where you still got that energy from ovulation. And mind you, this is about a 10 to 14 day period. So that first half, you're going to want to still be outside. You still can do like your heavy weightlifting and things like that. That's cool, fine, whatever. But around that second half, you're going to start to notice that you don't feel like doing stuff. You want to be inside. You don't want people touching you. Matter of fact, you want all the sweets, you want all the saltiness, you want all the food cravings in the world. But what did I tell y'all before about those PMS symptoms? That's not normal, right? So if you're experiencing that, it's your body's way of saying like, hey, I need some nutrition, but these foods are what seems to get me the nutrition, that's why I'm craving it. There's some charts online where it shows you like if you're craving chocolate, for instance, what vitamins and minerals you might be missing. So if y'all are interested in that, definitely y'all can Google that. But just know that during this time, you want to wind down, you want to focus on the day-to-day tasks that everybody don't like doing, but we gotta do anyway. So let's say you got some errands that you've been putting off all month, this is the perfect time to do it. You're gonna want to make sure you're indulging in a lot of self-care. You want to make sure that when you are working out, you want to make sure that first half, like I said, you can still do the heavy stuff, more intense stuff, but try to wind down. So you could do power yoga the first half. Don't do power yoga the second half. You will pass out, or you may pass out. I almost passed out. Look, I'm just telling y'all from experience. That's just me. But you want to do more things that are low impact, more gentle on the body, stretching, flexibility, focus on those types of things. And then as far as pleasure, like I said, first half, you still have wetness, you still have the cervical mucus that you need, so you don't necessarily need lube if you don't want to always use lube though, because, hey. But second half, your natural lubrication is going to decrease, and it's going to almost be really tacky, and then it will go to not being there because you're about to start your period. So your body is really winding down. Your body is saying, hey, let's take care of me right now. Let's really focus that energy internal. But also, if you are having sex with a partner or with yourself, focus on slower this go around. So ovulation, you can probably do like a lot of quickies, a lot of fast sex, but this time focus on that slow sex because it's giving your body that internal massage that we talked about earlier. And I know some of y'all don't have the presentation, but if y'all go to my results, I promise y'all I am somebody that if I find something I want to tell the world about it, because if it worked and it doesn't cost that much to actually do it, why not, right? So when I started cycle syncing, I told y'all before, I had a 13-day period. And I thought it was my normal. I thought that, everybody had a 13-day period, or at least it was normal. It wasn't. And I was like, well, how can I fix this? I started focusing on nutrition. So the seed cycling I was talking about earlier, I cut out a lot of food intolerances because when your body is has food intolerances or allergies, your body is going to react in very interesting ways. It'll become inflamed. If you become inflamed, that can knock off your hormonal balance. And mine was out of balance. And that's a big, I was also vitamin D deficient. So if you're told that you're vitamin D deficient, go outside or go take that vitamin D3 with K2 supplements, because that's actually going to give your body the vitamin D that it needs. But the vitamin D is way more important than doctors really tell you, because they're like, oh yeah, go take this supplement, you'll be fine. And it's like, no. You actually need this to survive. So sorry noticing that. And then the biggest thing that I did was I switched from tampons, like from always and things like that. I use a menstrual cup now, and organic cotton pads. Does anybody know why to make that switch?
I don't, but I started using the cup and I have recognized a significant change in like the cramps and like the pain beforehand. Like it's just been like amazing, honestly.
Yes. So, fun fact, we don't know what goes in a lot of our menstrual products. The chemicals that are supposed to help you absorb and not smell and things like that, that those things that they make us feel bad for something that naturally comes out of our body, that's not regulated. We don't know what's in it. And it's actually been, they getting sued right now, finally, because it does cause you to bleed more. It does cause you to have these hormonal imbalances. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just recommending that if you can make the switch, try to make the switch. Menstrual cups aren't for everybody though. They're not for everybody. There are different types of menstrual products that you can use instead. Like I mentioned, you can use organic cotton pads. The tampons are still kind of, I don't personally feel comfortable with organic tampons or anything like that, because you still can get the toxic syndrome. We don't want that. But there are the period panties. They also have a lawsuit too, but yeah, that's why I said it. I didn't try it, and then I was researching it. And I was like, oh dear. But it was pretty much the same thing with pads. The chemicals that were in it were they found a carcinogen in it. Yeah, right. I like what is it? Rael. Rael. Their products are pretty good. I used to like Honey Pot. They changed the formula. I don't know what they did. I can't do their scented stuff, but I did their unscented and.
Oh, they made those like coolie ones. They're like weird.
Yeah, they have.
I accidentally put one on and I was like, why am I
Yes.
The menthol coming off.
Oh yes, I can't do those. And then I also switched. What did I switch?
I use what?
Yes. Yes. I think I wanted to use them because it was like it's the one with the drawstring, right?
Oh no.
The disc.
Oh, the disc.
Yeah, the
right?
disc. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to try it. I tried some other ones, but I don't know what, it didn't fit. But that was years ago, before more people started to actually make a diverse product line for things like this. So I'm also in the experimental phase. So y'all got suggestions too.
I heard the cup can be bad for your pelvic floor though. Is that true? Or is that only if you've had children? Someone said like, oh yeah, my gynecologist said that she stopped using because she was having like, I think she had children though, and she was having like prolapse or something, but she said that the cup was like bad for her.
So that's, prolapse. Y'all know what prolapse is? Yeah.
Anyways, now I'm really kind of afraid of the cups. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so
Like, is your uterus coming out? So you gotta have your back coming out.
yeah, you have kids.
Your pussy falling out.
So I'm not a pelvic floor doctor or anything like that. I can see why a couple would not be great for things of that nature. All I can tell y'all is that I've suggested the cup to quite a few people, but then again, none of us have had children yet. So.
Yeah, IUD actually pull that out too.
Because it's like right there. So yeah, I would again always talk to your medical professional.
when you don't break the suction, it creates a lot of tension on the muscles there. And then it makes it really hard for those muscles to stay up, especially because you're shedding the lining, and your muscles aren't still during that time. Some people prolapse without using anything during their cycle just because their pelvic floor is already so weak. So I think if you're having that problem, especially if you have kids, you probably need to see a pelvic floor therapist anyway.
And thank you.
So it's not like the cup won't cause it. I mean, that was
Yeah,
Yeah, so the two things I would say is just like when you remove the cup, make sure you break that seal before you're taking it out and don't just pull it. And also, if this is a recurring problem, see a pelvic floor therapist.
Yeah.
Look, y'all on TikTok. Y'all the girl look, I looked at that list and I said, your teeth can fall out. Oh, oh my. But anyway, so I was doing all these things, making these changes, and that was back in 2020, 2021. Now, that lower belly bloating, so like I said, I'm on my period now, and I'm actually not afraid to show my stomach. So now I'm on my period. Thank you. So I'm on my period now. I don't have that lower belly bloating. So when you are bloating in this area in particular, that's usually due to hormonal imbalance. So just fun fact. Up here is something a little bit different, but if it's down here, it's typically due to your hormones. Your body is fun, right? So when that started going away, I noticed that it stayed away. And then I had surgery last year to remove like this huge polyp that was, to quote my doctor, rolling around in my uterus. Sister says, big ball rolling around your uterus. I'm like, why you saying like that? But I had that surgery, but that was the first time I ever had a transvaginal ultrasound, ever. No one said I had fibroids. No one said I had polyps. I went and got my annuals every year. I did all the things they said that I was supposed to do. And I started thinking, I was like, And they found a fibroid as well as the huge ball rolling around my uterus. And I started thinking, it was 1.5 millimeters. Said it was near my stomach. I said, that's weird. No one's ever told me I had a fibroid before. But then I started looking a little bit more into fibroids. Yeah, that lower belly bloating that didn't go away no matter what I did. I think that was a fibroid because as soon as I started making those changes externally and internally, it started to go down and it never came back. And I was like, I think I done struck my fibroid. I really do. I can't prove it though, because again, I never had a transvaginal ultrasound before, and that's not something that's included in your annual. And y'all don't know what it costs in my area to get one on your own. So it's one of those things that when I share these stories and I talk about cycle syncing and knowing the phase of your cycle, knowing when you ovulate, it's not just because I'm just saying this for my health. I'm saying this because a lot of us normalize a lot of these symptoms that we all go through, and we don't really talk about it due to shame, due to lack of education. But even in school, there was family planning classes, but they never mentioned this. They never mentioned any of this. Matter of fact, I did not even really know what size pads and stuff to use when I first came on my period. So what I encourage everybody here to do is share this information with your family, with your daughters, cousins, with people that have uterus. I promise you, a lot of us don't know this, and when we start to know this, it'll probably come up in your algorithms a little bit more, but it's really good to make the adjustments, because like I said, especially if you're in places of power, when you're in places of leadership and management, and you have people with uteruses on your team, this is when you can start making the change and the difference. Because if you notice certain managers and leaders, they'll manage a little bit different. you'll start to notice that whatever project y'all are working on, y'all can get stuff done faster, and everybody loves coming to work because you make it an enjoyable experience. And that's what we want to do, right? So, does anybody have any questions?
I know you said this is like another thing talk that you do, but I'm just wondering the difference of sometimes, it's really kind of personal, but it's like my luteal phase, it's like sometimes it's fine, I'm actually a little bit more analytical, I can get stuff done, and then other times, I look like shit, I get bags under my eyes, like everyone is irritating me, like, what could I look at as like, oh, like something went wrong this cycle, right? That I'm in this kind of bad luteal phase.
Right. That's a good question. So I definitely encourage you to track like what you're eating, the external factors that's happening in your life. Stress is a big cause for hormonal imbalances in general. So what we want to do is monitor that. Cortisol is, you need cortisol to live, but we don't need high amounts of it because that could actually put us in the hospital. So we want to look at your cortisol levels. A key sign, for I know at least for me, when your eyes start twitching out of nowhere, that's your cortisol levels off. Or if you are having sleep challenges, if you are having those like mood swings, if you're having these things, like I said, see what external factors are going on. See if like your eating patterns, have those shifted? Have you been traveling? Has who are you around, or who were you around that?
I was around my family last week.
That could do it. That could definitely do it. So you definitely want to monitor those things, and then when your cycle comes around, some things to check. Your period is going to smell a little bit, y'all. Like it's blood and lining, like it's going to smell. But if it's extra smelly, like very pungent, like it's very like ooh, that could be a sign that something's a little bit off hormonally. Another sign is the color. So, okay, this is like I said, stuff I'm gonna say is not in these slides. So if you start bleeding brown, that's actually not good. That's actually not even when you technically would track the first day of your period. First day of your period is when you see red, or for some it'll be dark red, but that's actually the first day of your cycle. I learned this the hard way, y'all, because I was fighting this. I was like, I know when my period starts. It starts with this spotting, and then it goes. No, the spotting that you may have is, for some it could be old blood, but it also could be low progesterone levels. And you want your progesterone levels to be high because that also lets you know that you ovulated in a healthy manner.
So if you just like bleed right away, that's like healthier than like the having a day or two of spotting.
Of the brown spot.
Okay.
Yeah, the brown spotting especially. But when it's like that consistent flow, so it might be light for some, but it has to be like that consistent flow. So this period, I was so scared, y'all. I was like, I know I've been stressed. I don't know what's about to happen, but this period was good. But yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. Any other questions? No?
What about when your period just kind of skips?
Oh,
She doesn't come.
yeah. Okay. So again, I would definitely look at how long that's been happening for. You probably want to also track like how long is it, the consistency, all these things. But you might want to get your hormone levels checked because not having a period is also not good. Having irregular periods is also not normal either. Even if it is your normal, it could be a sign that there's something else internally going on. Your gut health also can affect things. So that's why nutrition is important. But yes, I would definitely get like hormone levels checked at that point because we don't want to be skipping periods. And also if you're on birth control and that happens, again, that go to your doctor because that is also not normal. Thank y'all. I just want to thank y'all for coming. I know it's kind of early. I know we were out last night. I went to bed early. To have a body thermometer, I actually have I have mine, it's called a temp drop, so it looks like this. I wear it at night, and because I don't want to take my basal body temperature in the morning, because you gotta do it at the same exact time every day. I'm not doing that. But you wear this, put it on, and then it also has an app that goes with it that also tracks the phases of your cycle. Sometimes the algorithm can get off, but it's I've been using this for 4 or 5 years now, and it lasts you a good while. This is the newer one, and that's what it looks like. So, y'all interested in that? I do have another code for y'all. So this, I'm not gonna lie, this ain't cheap. This is definitely not cheap, but that's a couple of ways y'all can support. I do offer trainings and workshops and things because I like talking. I do like speaking in front of people. I like facilitating these type of workshops and stuff. And sometimes all you gotta do is just ask. And I just ask that if you have a referral for me, just let me know. And let's see, what else do I do? I do a lot of things. I do. If you need personal training and nutrition coaching, I got you as well. But again, I thank y'all for coming. I told y'all we weren't gonna move around a lot, but I hope y'all learned something new today. So y'all have a good rest of y'all day.